I must tell you that I was totally shocked, when it became obvious that Trump will emerge the president of America. I never expected it, following closely the campaigns. And then I didn't see him actually talk about how to solve economic problems of America, or even in terms of relationship with other nations. I didn't get a clearer perspective as to how he will handle some of these nations that have become a thorn to Americans' interest. So I didn't see him say so, but I followed that of Clinton, and I saw a woman that is actually prepared for the job. She's been there for years, and she's well educated. She's sound. She understands the policies of how to run the American state. From what I am saying that I saw. So to me it was a very great shock, because almost all the campaign strategies of Donald Trump ended up in controversy, abuse, and mudslinging. If you watch all his campaigns, it's about attacking actually Mrs. Clinton. I didn't see any enunciation of clear-cut policy of what he intends to do for America. So I had thought that Americans actually will choose somebody that will run them well. Now I also understand that there are reasons why Americans chose Trump. The core values of America has been eroded over the years. They believe they have this strong, Christian background, and some of the virtues that was the basis for foundation of America has been eroded. I heard they no longer teach moral studies in school. Then the issue of lesbianism and gay, that was actually allowed under Obama. They felt that it's going to be a continuation of that policy by Mrs. Clinton. So some of these issues are, actually counted against Mrs. Clinton, not necessarily on issue of enunciation of clear-cut policy on how to run America. So somebody has told me that the Americans have spoken. They have their values. They have what they believe in, and they have their interest. And to them, the interest of America is uppermost. And Clinton, Donald Trump, actually played on those basic sentiments. We must make America strong again. We must bully the world once again. We must show that we are in charge of the world. You hear them, chant USA, USA. Of course, behind that chant of USA is a spirit that we are the world. That everything, starts and ends with America. So clearly, he played on that sentiment, and that may be the reason why he became the president-elect. And so to me it was a shock, but there is nothing anyone can do about it. If Americans have spoken and say this is what we have chosen, they will actually be bound by their choice. So, and whatever consequences that choice will bring, they will be the one to bear it. So, but to them, congratulations for having successfully elected a president that will run the affairs of America for the next 4 years. There are so many lessons we have to learn when the time comes. If you ask me that question, issue of how they run the electoral system, they didn't stop work. There was no holiday. We didn't see all the army, all the policemen, all the security agencies on the street of New York or here, Florida. We saw orderliness. We saw, a process, that you would regard as being peaceful and generally very fair. These are some of the lessons we have to learn, from our American system. But I said once again, congratulations to Donald Trump for having he succeeded in. Nobody took him serious even from the primaries up to this general election, where he eventually has emerged as the president-elect of the United States of America. Because they would have broken record. Democrats handing over to Democrats after 8 years. The normal thing from history is after 8 years of Republican, he goes to, after Republican, he goes back to Democrats. So that has been this trend. So if Clinton had won, it would have been very unprecedented. One, you have two presidents in a home, the husband being a former president, and he and she now a president. That would have been unprecedented. It wouldn't have happened. Then she would have also broken the record of being the first woman president in America. And then she would have also broken the record of, having a Democrat handing over to Democrat. So many things that the woman would have broken. But even at that, with Trump's presidency also, he has broken record. There has been no history of any man who has no history, who has no experience in politics, who has no experience in governance, coming from nowhere, from the business world, and then coming and succeeded in becoming the president. It has never happened before. But under Trump, he has no experience whatsoever. He has never been in the military, he has never been in politics, he has never been in government. From nowhere, a businessman, raw, uncooked, and he became the president of president-elect of America. He's unprecedented. So many things about this election is clearly unprecedented, and I believe there are things that God wants to show us concerning the happenings in America. Everything about in the world now is what you think. When you look in this direction, God thinks in a different direction. It happened in Nigeria in 2015. It happened with the Britain.